Era History Untold. Take a meaty chunk of Anna, a splash of seal, and some of the good parts of Hamkent, mix them together, and you get Ara. Something as a whole very unique in the 4E genre and very much worth playing if you like complex games. While the main Civilization franchise has been repeatedly simplifying mechanics and streamlining to appeal to a broader audience, Ara takes the complexity dial and turns it to 12. For a very refreshing experience once you wrap your head around it. A farm isn't just a farm anymore. Each individual farm in your empire is a multi-tier upgradable improvement, with 3 tiers and like a dozen of different minor upgrades, each of which are crafted by other facilities in your empire. Make a plow in your workshop, apply the plow in your farm, and now the yields have permanently increased repeated for things like fertilizer, electricity and tractors and varying stages of the game. The main output for most farms is generic food, but if you build a farm on a barley resource node, you get barley grain, which can be crafted into the bread among many other things, and that bread can be crafted into the fancy feast among many other things, with some other ingredients. Then you can apply that to the feast to your city as consumable luxury resource to significantly boost your population growth and happiness. This complexity repeats for most other improvements and resources. Ore becomes a metal bars, which becomes the metal tools, which are used to enhance various buildings, whereas become textiles, which become clothes, which become fancy clothes bundles as a luxury, etc. Each step being handled by its own upgradable building improvement, going through the edges and unlocking the new uses and chains for resources for better luxury resources and building improvements. I have found it extremely satisfying. There is a lot of management here. I haven't found it to be very tedious for the most part. They are larger, satisfying and rewarding mechanics to interact with. Though there could be some UI improvements that make managing larger empires a little easier. Cities are huge. As cities grow, they can claim regions, kind of a similar rate to claiming titles like in Civ, except each region is somewhat sizable and has usually full 5 slots for improvements buildings. There are a few small malformed regions with the 2-3 slots. By the Middle Ages, your cities feel like they're sprawling across the countryside with like 50 plus improvements, and by the end of the game, this can hit 100 plus. A city can climb up to 25 regions from what I can tell. The game starts with a fairly low city cap of 3. This does increase over the course of the game, easily up to 11 plus cities, but each of the one has more going on that, and managing 11 cities doesn't feel like a small amount. The text systems has some pacing issues, but the text speed slider has basically been confirmed in the early update. There are I think like 15 areas or edges in the game, each with 8 texts. You need to research 5 of them to advance to the next area, but you lose access to the text you skip. There are texts in the subsequent areas that will unlock some of the same things, so there is probably a path through where you can only take 5 texts each area without missing anything important, but currently that's not really concerned with how fast research is. Without really putting any effort into it, research pretty quickly ramps up to the point where you're getting only tech every 3 full turns. And if you're integrated with the new improvements, crafts and resources that you aren't really in the position to interact with yet, resulting in choice for you the next tech, you can pick the resource to be largely irrelevant. Currently, this is not an interesting system and there is no choices or strategy involved with the text system. Hopefully that will be improved, and I imagine a text speed slider will help with it a lot. So the game has some fairly gamey mechanics. I believe the only victory condition is core, which the game calls prestige, and the prestige is a pretty central part of the game in a way that can be substantially immersion breaking. There are a number of mechanics where the only thing they really do is provide the prestige. Things like great works appear to be just the prestige bombs. Building a wonder feast gives you a chunk of the prestige, and certain buildings provide bonus prestige per turn when placed in a certain way, for example. The game is then split into acts, which are different from years. Once every certain number of civs hit the center area of the wood progresses to the next act, and an hour civilization at the bottom of the prestige ladder get removed from the game. Just poof. There is a toggle to exempt the player from getting kicked, but not the AIs, through the devs and acknowledged biofeedbacks that many players want to disable this system entirely. I don't think this is a good system. I don't play these games to win, I play for the journey and I want to be immersive at the extent games like this can be. This focus on score and arbitrarily forget your scouts exist. There are no real dangers on the map. There's a good variety of Cs and leaders right from the start, and they have been comparable individual bonuses to say a Civ game, but they could always be improved to be a little more unique. Overall, it's a decent game. The main strength is the economy, industry management, and if that's not your cup of tea, the game offers little easy or of note compared to other games in the genre. So, thank you guys for watching this review, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. Bye.